Greetings from One Local Board. Joseph James here, schooltrade.com, Sideways Markets. May 20th, 2011. Happy finally Friday. Happy OPEX Friday to you guys. We made it through OPEX. We talked about last week, and we talked about yesterday, and we also talked about a lot this morning, everything that goes into options expiration. So we knew today was OPEX. We talked all about OPEX in the live trade room today. If you weren't with us today for the OPEX training today, guys, we're going to send that video out over the weekend. And of course, that video we'll send the weekend is going to be including the morning prep for next Monday. So make sure you guys are on our newsletter that we get that video we had, that great webinar today, that question and answer session about OPEX and our morning routine today. I'll make sure to send that out to you guys for Sunday afternoon so you can be ready for Monday morning. So here we are today, Friday morning. OPEX Friday, options expire tomorrow, so of course, everything's got to happen today. Now, OPEX Friday is usually classified by being a relatively sloppy day. In my experience, the past 10 years of trading these markets, usually OPEX Friday, you get that small window of opportunity. Because what happens is there's no news on a Friday for OPEX, which means most traders who don't have to be trading Friday will use that as an excuse to get the heck out of town, right, and get away from the sloppy, expectedly slow day on Friday morning. Again, under normal conditions, OPEX, very slow, no news, and because most traders think that OPEX is more difficult because there's no news, right, it kind of magnifies that low volume. It makes it worse. So we weren't expecting much today. We definitely weren't expecting to see a big, breakout type day. We get a range-bound day, but with no news and OPEX, we knew one thing was for sure: grab that money early, right, and then hit the exits. Okay, nothing worse than giving back money end of the morning on an OPEX Friday when it's very, very challenging after what we assume to be after 10:30 this morning. Okay, so looking for that small window of opportunity this morning, but we also knew around 10:30 today we'd have to be really looking closely, and we'd have to have a really good reason to be trading after 10:45, 11 o'clock this morning. Okay, on any Friday, I've got to have a really good idea, a really strong reason to trade after 11 o'clock on most Fridays. On OPEX Friday, it's usually 10:30 to 10:45. Now, what did we see this morning? Dollar said what? We opened up our charts, went over our morning prep together today, and what do we see? Dollar first, range-bound dollar. Now remind me again, what does a range-bound dollar tell me if I want to profit on crude, gold, euro, Russell, whatever you're trading? Range-bound dollar means range-bound markets. Okay, the dollar, right? Happy dollar, happy crude. Sloppy dollar, sloppy crude. When I see a trending dollar, I'm getting ready to sell retracements. New lower lows, selling retracements. If I see a range-bound dollar, right? Sideways range-bound dollar. What do I get now? Range-bound crude. How do I trade a range-bound crude? How do I trade a range-bound gold? Sell the highs, buy the lows, avoid the middle. Right? There was that sideways range. And of course, we come up to the highs of that range. I'm going to sell those highs. Now, when I sold those highs, I gave you guys the exact entry and target in this one. So I gave you guys the 0.8. Right, the 1501.8 down to the 1508 down to the 99.8. Okay, so a plus 10 tick target, plus 10 tick stop, and of course the fast trackers, I took my profit off at the previous high of day. Now, if you recall, our first couple trades of the morning, we always want to take our profit conservatively. My attitude is I'm going to take my money and run until the market tells me differently. So until I got the big move on gold, I want to find that next level of support. My swing low right here, we break below that swing low. My next level of support is that previous high of day. We just watched as that previous high of day held before. So of course, I'm expecting now this sloppy price action. I'm expecting now for it to bounce right back up. It didn't, of course. It took me out of my target at 925, two-step pattern short, sell those highs. Right at that big round number, 10, 20, right, 39 ticks. That should be 39 ticks right there. I'm sorry, 29, excuse me, yep, 29 ticks, 290 USD, and again, sell the range highs. We knew we had a range-bound market. We sold the range highs. Now, once we drop back down, you'll see right here, we go right in the middle here. I'm going to avoid this area. And of course, once price drops back down, look what time it is, right? 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock this morning, gold gives me a chance to buy these lows. Unfortunately, though, I had just saw crude fall out of bed, and I was watching crude oil. So I unfortunately, because crude moves so quickly, crude is literally moving like a rocket down. I missed this wave pattern short. Okay, then we come back up through this resistance. Now I want to buy these lows now, but the problem was to buy those lows, I had to get through the BMTs. Okay, you can't see it here, but we had the 89 BMT, 34 BMT, 21 BMT. I mean, guys, they were all right there. So lots of levels of resistance, right, that were spooking us out of buying these lows. Now you can see how sloppy it was already. You can see right there how sloppy it got, right? So of course, price comes down, that wave pattern short, I skipped it, I was watching crude all the time. And then look at how sloppy it gets right here, right? Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. Lots of resistance right there. And if you recall, my exact words were, there, my BMT was right there, and I said, that's probably where we'll end up today. Very surprising, though. We had some remarkable resiliency here, came all the way up here, right to the highs, once again of the wedge. I didn't see that coming at all. And if you rewind the tape, go back and watch the last couple OPEXs, and this price action is very unique for today. So we wanted to buy the lows, couldn't get into it. Okay, we expected the BMT to hold. It didn't. Oh well, OPEX Friday at its best. We make our 30 ticks though on gold. We make our $300 on gold. And then at this point, we're just going to sit on our hands now and wait for the next price action to come.